Hello everyone. We have a game with the black pieces against Troll, rated 1614. Let's get a Caro Kann on the board and see what happens. So he takes and we take. Okay, he develops the knight. That gives the added possibility of pushing, but I don't want to overextend at this point. I just want to develop, play something calmer. Okay, so now we have an exchange Caro Kann. Let's develop the bishop, pin the knight. He does the same thing. We can play e6 or develop the knight. Let's just play e6 and open the bishop, defend our center. He takes, so we're forced to capture. He did that unprovoked, so we don't mind seeing it. So now he provokes us, so when we do it, it'll be a little bit different. So let's take, and that knight was defending his dark squares, it no longer is. Okay. I think now is a great time to play the positional move c5, which you always try to get in the Caro Kann to get rid of your weakness, to break down his center, and he doesn't have c3 there to support it. What? So he ignores it and develops his bishop so that if I take, he can develop his knight with some Jobava London idea. But then I go check, and he has to bring the knight back, but then it hangs. So that doesn't work. So I'm not developed at all, but this does hit the knight, and considering he can't go here, he has to go back. And then when I give that queen check, I'm going to be able to get rid of that pawn, and I'll just be up a pawn. And I don't think he can take advantage of the lead in development he'll have. So that's why I'll go for it. Open up my bishop as well. I could give a check with that piece as well. So he does do this, but he misses the tactical shot. And here you see a 1600 just fall for a basic tactic. Queen a5 is common in a bunch of openings. It's just a resource that always exists. Okay, so he doesn't resign. He defends the check, but that hangs the knight. So now we're up a piece. And the game is over. This pawn is hanging. He makes a pawn move attacking our queen, which can't be the right move. So let's just take a piece. It's not even like he can harass our queen because his rooks aren't connected. So now he connects them, but we also have time to take another pawn and offer a queen trade. And then we can develop next, up 6 points of material. He avoids the queen trade, but just to probe and prod him, I'm going to throw this pawn up. You don't have to. You could just have started developing, but I want to see what he does with his queen. Maybe get the pawn a little closer for free. I intend on losing it at some point. I'm not going to try to keep it, so I don't really care how far down the gets, like if it's overextended or not. I'm gonna gain the tempo and see what happens. So he goes back because now I can't push it because of the alignment, which makes sense. Maybe he'll spend 2 turns trying to win it, which would be nice because it's just a pawn and we're up 6 points of material. So let's just develop. I just kind of threw it in as a psychological thing to see what he would do. Okay, so he hits the queen. Nothing too dangerous coordination wise. You can move your queen to various spots. I suppose you have squares that attack this pawn, but I'm going to keep it in the center and just kind of see what happens. He can try to hit me or hit me in different ways, but maybe I can harass his queen and try to bully the trade. So let's try to bully the trade. Um, he could easily win a pawn, but it's not going to help him since he's down 6 points. So, and without his queen, he really has nothing. He has 7th rank infiltration, I guess, but it's not going to make up for the lack of all the material. So, see, he doesn't want to trade, but where do you move your queen? You can't. You have to move it here, and that walks into that maybe, so he doesn't actually have a choice. So he tries to do it on his own terms, but how does this help him? We take, and I guess he just didn't want me to solidify my pawn chain. So now when I take, he can take with the bishop. Something like that. But let's just take it. We don't care. We just want the quick liquidation. And now we can try to castle. Developing castle. So his rook might come to these squares. I think this square is interesting because a5 supports it. If I go somewhere else, he can attack me or pin me down so I can't castle. So at least if I go here, if he attacks me, I get in a move I want to make anyway, a5. And if he doesn't attack me, well, I have some nice squares controlled. Okay, so he goes and takes a pawn. So that gives me all the time I need to get my king to safety and just be up 5 points of material. He goes pawn storming, which doesn't do anything, of course. So let's get a rook in the game. Okay, he attacks the bishop, and now we get to solidify the way we want. And this construction is worth a lot of points. Let's say it's worth 5. Okay, he keeps making pawn moves. This is probably to kick out my knight, but my knight has access. You know, a knight can just move and reroute, and the pawns can't stop it long term, only short term. Okay, so he keeps making pawn moves. So let's improve the knight for free. He has to move the rook, of course, and we can also infiltrate depending on where his pieces are. Yep, he notices the fork that he just blundered into. So let's get an analysis board on this Caro Kann exchange against the 1600 Lichess. So we get the Caro, and they always do some weird thing like knight out first instead of just playing d4. I don't know why, but we just develop and center. Then we develop and center by pinning the knight. Center and development. Force move. Force reaction. Also, we don't mind giving up the bishop because our pawns are already on light, and we want to break on dark, so we're getting rid of his dark defender. Now here, there are moves. Maybe you could bring the knight out. Maybe you could develop the bishop. Who knows? But I like the c5 in this particular case, nice and early. Breaking before he can really cement this point with a pawn. We take free stuff, it's -1. And then he blunders and it's -4.5. So we give the check. There's no way to save the knight. Free stuff. Free stuff. Free stuff. Free improving move. Development and center. Force move, -5. Improving move for free, because all trades are wins for us. This is free stuff because trades are wins. Development and king safety. King safety development. Development. Force move. Now you have options here. You can try to double. That's effective, you know, by infiltrating. But the knight's also, you know, it doesn't belong here. Unless you're going to sack a pawn with d4 and try to stick it on d5, then it's a very nice square for the knight. But aside from that, you know, we might as well reroute it because it has beautiful... It can go any way it wants. It can go here and land on a dark. It can go here and land on a light. So, very flexible move. So we just improve it. So, center, improving a piece for free. And then he just hangs the game. So 12 up center pawn, 1 in accuracy, 98%. Very solid game against 1600s who just make very natural moves. I mean, but like there's no reason to take here. It's just weird. Like they need someone to tell them don't take until, like, if you're gonna play this and you do want to take for some reason, at least wait until I play a6, right? Unless you have a reason that you don't want me defending the dark squares immediately. But he didn't. It's weird. Anyway, good luck in your Caro Kann games. Hopefully this helps you. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.